Today is Friday, Parashat Bo. In the parasha of this week, there is a very important event in our history, which is the Exodus from Egypt. The parasha includes in it also the mitzvah of sanctifying time, Rosh Chodesh, the mitzvah of the Paschal Lamb. But there is one mitzvah that is mentioned in the parasha of this week that is very, very important, and is the mitzvah of telling the story of the Exodus from Egypt. The pasuk says, "Ve'igadeta lebincha," you shall tell your son. And on this word, the word ve'igadta is the basic root word for the Haggadah. Haggadah, which is the book that we read and the Seder that we do every Pesach night, and we read from the Haggadah as we tell the story of the Exodus from Egypt. After about 2 centuries of exile in Egypt and decades of slavery, harsh labor, and they're about ready to go into freedom and to leave behind those very hard years, and the formation of a new nation, of the Jewish nation, is happening at the Exodus from Egypt. Moshe Rabbeinu tells the Jewish people a very important concept. Tell the story to your children. Ve'igadeta lebincha. Tell the story to your children, and it's not just the children of that generation that went out from Egypt that need to hear the story. It's also, and most importantly, even after you reach the land and you'll settle in Eretz Israel, even ki yaviacha Hashem, when Hashem will bring you to the land of Israel, and many generations beyond, continue to tell the story of the Exodus from Egypt. Tell it and retell it again and again, as we do every year at the Seder table, and as we do not just at the Seder table, throughout the year we mention in remembrance of Yetziat Mitzrayim. That concept of connecting not just with our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents, but generations and generations before, all the way to the Exodus from Egypt, is a tremendous gift that we're giving to our children, the gift of a sense of identity. When you're able to connect with previous generations and understanding what the Jewish people went through when the nation was formed in Egypt, and having that story told and retold again, it's a gift that we're giving the next generations of having a strong sense of Jewish identity. And that's why it's so important that Moshe Rabbeinu highlights, and the mitzvah is repeated more than once in the parasha, telling your son, tell your son. And if your son asks you, and again, this idea of the story must be told and retold, because through the story, you're preserving not just a piece of history, but you're gifting a sense of identity to the next generation. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'amen, and Shabbat Shalom.